Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do my top 10 favorite brushes. So they do vary, but I do have some eye brushes in here, some face brushes, and then just foundation brushes as well. So the very first one I'm going to start off with is the Cover FX. This is the powder brush. It does say powder on the back. It's just a normal, I believe it's goat hair. So goat hair brush here. So it is specifically for powder. I do use it for powder just because some other brushes I do use them for multi-purposes. This one I do just set my foundation with this. So after I put my foundation on, I just go in and I kind of steeple the powder where I need it. So I don't smear the powder just because I don't want to move my product. So I just keep it in one place by steepling it into that place instead of smearing it. This one does go for $38. You can get these from Sephora or any kind of drugstore as well. So they are in the prestige section. You can also get them online, I believe, as well. But again, they are $38. So my next favorite, this is the Sigma brush. So the Sigma Tapered Highlight F35. So I use this one for highlights. So I use it kind of, I don't know if you can see here, but I just use it right here. So anywhere where the sun would naturally hit is where I'm going to put my highlight. So I'm going to put it here above my eyebrow and above here on my cheekbone, a little bit on my cupid's bow, some on my chin sometimes, and my nose depending on the day. If it's a really special occasion, I'll go a little highlight crazy. But on normal days, I just do a little bit on my cheekbone. So that's what this one, I use this one for. And Sigma brushes, as of now, you can, because we are in Canada, we can only get them from online. So I ordered this one online, I believe, because it is the copper head here. It's not the gold and it's not the silver, so it's kind of the medium price range. And probably around $38, something like that is how much this one costs, and then shipping on top of that. My next favorite brush here is the Kat Von D Contour Shade and Light brush. So I did receive this one from Sephora. It is pretty recent because she did just come out with her contour kit. So when she came out with her contour kit, she did come out with a contour brush as well. They are sold separately. So when I did purchase the contour kit, I did purchase the brush as well. This one's $56. And again, it's from Sephora. So this end here, I don't know if you can see that, this end here is for highlighting, and then this end here, because it is that contoured slanted side, is used for the contour. So the brown shade there, and then you kind of go in with the highlight underneath. Brush, this is the Sonia Kashuk one. So this is when Target was in Canada. So this is one of their brushes. I did get a few of them, but this is definitely one of my favorites. This is number 29. So if you're in the States or you travel to the States, you can get this. Or I know now that Target does ship to Canada, so you could order this. Number 29, this is the blush brush. So that's what I use it for. I just do it on the apples of my cheeks. I know you could probably use this for a powder brush as well, just because it is quite big there. But I use it for a blush brush. So next is some eye brushes. So this little one here, can you see that there? So it's just a little brush. This is from my brush set. So it is a set of brushes online. When I first started out doing makeup, I did receive these just because they are quite cheap. I believe they're like $30 to $60 depending what set you get. But you get a full range of brushes. You get all the brushes. They are synthetic. So I did mention before that my skin is quite sensitive to brushes, so by having synthetic or like goat hair, I can use those brushes, but I can't really use anything else. So by this one being synthetic, I can use it's called my brush set, so I can use these ones. They're super affordable as well, so, and you get the full set. So with this little one here, I know I showed it to you in the very beginning, I use this to highlight under my brow, or when I have a few brow hairs growing in, I take a little bit of a concealer, or Painterly Paint Pot from MAC is the one that I use, and I outline under my brow so that I get a sharp edge, so that it kind of cleans it up, and then I blend it through so that it is just a clean cut line, and then covers all those little hairs that are coming through as well. So I use this one for multi-purpose. It also can be used for shading under my eye when I do a heavy smoky eye, so I use something like this as well. So having a small brush like this, it doesn't have to be my brush set. It could be anything like Bobbi Brown, a drugstore one, doesn't really matter. But any shape like this, it comes in really handy. So this is definitely my favorite. This is the Smashbox blending brush. So this is the crease blender. So I use this literally every day. I have a couple of these actually because they're my favorite. So you can get this from Sephora. You can get this from a drugstore. It is prestige because it is Smashbox. But I believe they are $36. 32 or 36, but definitely worth it. So when you do get it, it is quite a lot smaller just because you have to wash it. So when you wash it and when you use it, it gets a little bit bigger, it grows by size, but it is definitely one that I love, that I use every single day, and that I would definitely recommend. It's quite soft too, so compared to some other blending brushes, I know MAC has lots of those, they get a little bit prickly, and with your eye being so sensitive and have such a thin skin on your eye, I would recommend something that's super soft like this. So this is definitely my favorite. I do want to try Morphe's though, so those will be my next, just because they seem to have lots of nice blending brushes as well. The MAC 217, so this one is really popular. Again, a blending brush, but the size difference between the two you can kind of see. So this one's a lot fluffier and this one's a little bit more dense. So this is good to add darker colors kind of in the crease, and then I'll go in with that Smashbox one and blend it out. But something like this is really nice, really popular, but like I said, it is a little bit more dense and stiff than something like the Smashbox one. So it's perfect when I want to go in and just go in a specific area opposed to blending all over. So my next brush here is the Anastasia brow brush. So I use the eyebrow pod from Anastasia. So it is, I believe I use a taupe color, but you can see there that it's a slanted brush, and then it has the spoolie at the end. So normally I do just use the Anastasia brow pencil, which is in taupe for me because I'm blonde, but if I do go in and I want a little more detail, I'll use something like this. So number one key is that use your spoolie. So your spoolie is super important so that you don't have any harsh lines. So after I do my brows, I go through and I go through them and I blend them. So I blend them until I see no more harsh lines, because I want it to look like I have full brows, but I don't want it to look harsh and that I just drew them on. So spoolie is super important. I know I never used to use the spoolie, but now I do. And with this Anastasia one, it is number 12. So I do believe they have a number 15 as well. But this one's super easy because then you can get in and get a really deep line. I think the number 15 is a little bit bigger. And again, this is from Sephora. So this, I believe, is $26 from Sephora. So not too bad if you're buying an eyebrow brush. That's not too bad because brushes are a really good investment. So next, my last two ones here, I do have the Beauty Blender. Mine is quite dirty just because I did just use it when I did my makeup, but this is the Beauty Blender. They did go up to $28 at Sephora, so I do get this is a pretty new one. So if you do go to Sephora and get these, you do have to replace these every 3 months. So after 3 months of using it, because I do use mine every single day, I do throw it out and I do get a new one. So I don't try to like scrub it clean. I probably clean it once a week for me because it's only me using it, but when it's up 3 months, I throw it right out and I go buy a new one just for sanitary reasons, because I know it does build up your product inside. So if it recommends 3 months, I throw it out after 3 months. And the next one here is the little baby one. So this is the little baby one. This is the Micro Beauty Blender. So it is green, but again, my concealer has stained it a little bit, but you can see the size difference. Like this one's for concealer under your eyes or for blemishes. This one's for all over foundation. So that you get 2 in a pack of these little guys, and I believe they're the similar price, $26, somewhere around there, and you can clean them. So I did previously talk about in my last video the solid, so I'll link that down below, Beauty Blender cleaner. So that's the only cleaner that I found that cleans these really well. So I've tried my face wash, I've tried baby shampoo, I've tried hand soap, that kind of thing, and it doesn't clean it as well as the Beauty Blender solid does. And I guess that's probably why they made it, is because it's specifically made to clean these two guys. So I definitely would recommend the solid or the liquid cleaner as well if you purchase these, just so you can get a deep clean. So when you use something like this, it does come a lot smaller. So this is when it's expanded. This is once I've put it under water. So if you're interested in using a Beauty Blender, you buy it. It is a small product. You squeeze it under the water by pulsing like this 15 times, and then you squeeze it out in your towel to make sure there's no excess water. So you do run it under water. So don't use it when it's dry. Don't take it out of the package and use it straight away. You do have to make it so it's squishy. So when you don't run it underwater, it's very dense and hard. So when it is wet, it's nice and squishy for you to get a good like bounce effect off your face. So this one's definitely a favorite. So lastly, I'd just like to say that I know brushes are expensive and I know they're an investment, but you won't get as as good of a makeup application if you don't use the right brushes. So if you don't use brushes in general, if you use your hands and you warm up your product too much, it has a chance of coming off a lot quicker because you're warming up the product too much. And if you aren't using brushes and you're putting on your eyeshadow with your finger, you have the chance of it not blending. You have the chance of you not loving the look after, because brushes are very important. I would say make the investment. Start with a few and then add to your collection as you go. So again, these are my top 10 favorite brushes. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.